Tuition Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Yeah, we shall be looking at metal and its compounds, and their compounds rather, metals and their compounds. And under this lesson, we hope to be able to, at the end of the lesson, I expect that you should be able to explain the process, the principles of behind metal extractions. You should be able to identify metal groups and some of their physical and chemical properties. Of course, describe laboratory preparation of some of their useful compounds and describe the testing and identification of metallic ion. At the same time, you should be able to identify properties and uses of some of their compounds. So let's get started. What is a metal? A metal is an element whose atom ionized by the loss of an electron. That's the basic thing that identifies an atom, a metal rather. A metal always loses an electron to enter into a stable state. So when it enters into a stable state, it becomes ionized. It has either 1 or 2 or 3 outermost electrons or more, which it finds it easier to lose than to look for electrons to gain. So because of that, they prefer to lose those electrons, and those substances which lose electrons during electrolytic processes are identified as metals, while the non-metals try to gain electrons to become stable even in electrolytic processes. Now, as described earlier, of course, we're talking about metals and their compound. Let's quickly look again through metals. Physically, they are mostly solids at room temperature. They have high melting and boiling points. They are malleable, which means they can be beaten into sheets. They're ductile, which means they can be drawn into wires. They're sonorous, which means they have nice sounding sound. When you hit them, you get a sound that's sounding nice. A tunic, a rhythmic sound. They are hard, which means they are tough on the outside, but they are brittle, which means they are fragile. They can easily break. Not tear now, break. They are relatively highly dense, which means most of them do sink in water. Actually, they are very good conductors of electricity and heat. Of course, that's quite understandable, and they have a characteristic luster. Chemical properties: they are ionized with loss of electrons. They are reducing agents. Most of them react with acids to liberate hydrogen, and of course, they produce basic oxides, not acidic oxides. Basic oxides. Extraction of metals. Of course, most metals are found in nature, not in their stable states. The most reactive ones, like sodium, potassium, they're found in the form of their chlorides and trioxocarbonates. The less reactive ones, like zinc, like lead, like iron, are found in nature in their oxides and sulfides. While the least reactive ones, which means those ones that almost never react at all, such as gold and silver,